a lot of these funds are very cashed up. They view this crisis. They're ringing him up and saying this is our time. Because they believe there's going to be buying opportunities. And certainly for a long time, I mean, even pre-GFC, there was a great capital overhang. We've got very low yields. Investors are very yield hungry. So you would concur that there's a lot of cash on the sidelines?
Oh, there is. I mean, don't forget, you've got funds that are sitting on, hundreds of millions of billions of dollars of capital, and all that's predominantly, here in Australia, superannuation money, in the US pension funds.
You mentioned about, let's say the 5-year closed fund, and you're saying that they can't afford to sit on cash, at the bank attracting, 0.25% interest. But what about the back end of that? If they've got a fund that's closing out at 5 years, it's not an ideal market to be selling to be selling your position there, is it?
It's not, which is why they love to do these PE to PE deals, because what happens is it's a bit of a mates, sort of at the club.
I call it.
We'll give you our investment, and you can sort of when you need to get rid of one of yours, come and talk to us.
Sounds like musical chairs, just waiting for the music.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit of, and so they've got to get out of these, because the last thing they want to do is have to hand back money, to their institutions.
Sule, you heard Gary say that these private equity firms are as busy putting out fires and managing their own portfolios. I know that many of these private equity firms, they're certainly lean when it comes to personnel. I mean, that's their model, is to run lean. They've got lots of firepower in the brain department, but not necessarily, So are you? I mean, we see that banks, for example, lean on the insolvency profession to fill the gaps, and you hear about insolvency people being seconded to banks. Is that something that happens with private equity as well?
Well, I sort of agree with what Gary said about the PE to PE backed deals. The problem at the moment is there's 2 problems facing private equity at the moment. There's no genuine secondary market for these assets or business. Right? Okay. And then if someone is really keen on an asset or a business, the major issue they're faced with at the moment is at what point in time after the transaction that I enter into will I be able to conduct business in an ordinary course of business, normal basis? I mean, look at the travails Bain have had to face with Virgin. They're doing a transaction to acquire part of the business, part of the assets. But what they really don't know is when do people start flying and travelling at a normal pace. So everything is skewed by this massive unknown, which is future time.